Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Tea With Me. I'm Michelle C.
I'm Michelle K.
And today we're going to discuss trad wives. And,
Yes.
The
trad wife movement.
Yeah.
Or
Is it a movement?
trend.
Yeah.
The trend. Yeah.
Trend. I don't even, going back to tradition. So yeah, we're...
So trad wife stands for traditional wife.
Yeah.
I.e. a homemaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, to me, this is the celebration of what the gender roles really are, you know?
Yes, exactly.
And I'm...
The traditional gender roles. Man work, woman stay home, look
Yes.
after the home and the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be provided for.
And seeing the value in that. And, I mean, we watched a compilation and one woman actually said that somebody had said to her, "You're far too intelligent just to stay at home."
Yes, just to stay just to be a housewife. Yeah.
Being a housewife is such a huge role, you know?
It is a huge role. Yeah.
And actually, because I'm not fortunate enough to be able to stay at home all the time, I would love to.
Same.
And it's a juggling act, and it actually it creates a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, because, there are times when your children really, really want you, and you simply can't be there.
Yeah.
Because you've got to go to work. And I don't know about you, but have you had your child crying at your ankles?
Very much so.
Please don't go,
I have
Mummy.
to do evenings and weekends because of childcare. I'm usually at school during the day, but I can't get a sort of job that's in work in school
I know,
time.
it's so difficult to do that.
And obviously with school holidays and stuff, that would get in the way then. So I
absolutely.
choose to do evenings and weekends, which then means I'm not at home.
And it's heartbreaking.
And she cries sometimes.
Yeah.
She's used to it now, but
Yeah.
there are still times when she's like, "I don't want you to go."
No,
But
I know.
it does break my heart.
And also all of the other things as well, that get neglected. The housework. I don't know about you, but when you've been at work all week and you look at the house and it's like, oh no, now I've got to spend all weekend when I want to just have fun with the kids. I
Getting
need
on
to.
top of it.
Yeah, I
Whereas
need to
you could
spend
be
it cleaning the
spending
house.
a couple of hours a day.
Yeah.
Just keeping on top.
Absolutely. And then
Yeah.
baking delicious meals for them and, making sure everything's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and making YouTube videos.
But it seems that the trad wife is a bit controversial. There are people who are anti it because obviously the feminism movement, and
Yes.
we've fought hard for women to go out to work. But
Yeah.
I
I saw a clip from a podcast and it really kind of resonated with me, and the guy was basically explaining to these very young women who were on there, who were obviously all feminists and all that, modern women, and he was saying, that the only difference between being a housewife and going out to work is you're submitting to either your husband or you're submitting to your boss.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Exactly the same
But your
thing.
husband actually cares for you
and loves you
and wants to provide for you and give you a good life, whereas your boss just wants your time to make the money.
One woman actually, when I was growing up, said to me, "If you decide to just be a stay-at-home mum, that's practically prostitution."
Oh my God.
Which I thought was incredibly just extreme.
That is extreme.
It is. But, this was a rather influential woman in my life. But, yeah.
Damn.
Her idea was that you should never submit to your husband.
Well, this is modern feminism.
But, you're not only submitting to your husband, you're submitting to your family as a whole and to the children.
It's for the betterment of the family.
Exactly.
That's what you're submitting to.
And actually, I think it keeps everything more orderly. And I wonder if, because there's a huge lack of respect now, I think. But with that traditional role and that dynamic within a household, I just think everything's a bit more clear and children know where they stand.
Yeah.
The man knows where he stands, the woman knows where she stands, and there's got to be a lot less, because I think men and women fight now so much over, who should be doing what.
Because I mean, obviously, traditionally, the housework fell on the women because they were at home.
And actually,
but now we're in the workforce as well.
But I think women are naturally better at the domestic stuff. And I don't want to sound sexist when I say that, but I think...
No, it's biology.
Yeah. And I think men are typically better at going out
We're
to
the
work.
caregiver.
And then,
that's just biology, isn't it? We carry the babies, we nest,
Yeah.
you know, and that is our role, genetically, is to keep a safe environment for the family.
And we've actually got an article, haven't we? So what does this say?
So this says Tradwife TikTok trend. So this is currently a trend on TikTok. These women are documenting their domestic lives of taking care of the house and their husband and the children, and now it's become a trend on TikTok. So this article is Tradwife TikTok trend. What does Tradwife stand for? What do Tradwives do? And are they being submissive? So they're obviously implying that being submissive is a negative.
Yes.
I would say in that headline. Yeah.
But I think the only thing they're submitting to is their biology, personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because in a lot of these videos, it's very obvious to the audience that the women are happier, the men are happier, the children are happier.
Yeah.
And it's like...
I must admit they do. They all look really happy in these videos.
It harkens back to... you know, a bygone era of when families were families.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope this trend blows up.
The hashtag Tradwife has racked up 129 million views on TikTok at the time of writing. So
when was this written?
14th of March.
Okay.
With hundreds of women explaining their lifestyle choices. But some experts... I'm not sure what experts they are.
This is
have raised concerns with the movement. So I'm guessing these are feminism experts, probably,
or just journalists.
Saying it promotes learned gender stereotypes, which could be harmful to women, and is even anti-feminist. Of course, it's anti-feminist because feminism is anti-family.
Yeah.
So what exactly is a tradwife? What do they do, and are they being submissive to men? Okay, so first off, they're not being submissive to men. No. They're being submissive to their man.
Yes.
And he is providing for her in return.
Yes, so it's an equal exchange.
A balance.
Yeah.
So the term tradwife is short for traditional housewife. Has links to the 1950s, a time when men and women had defined gender roles. Women were homemakers while men went out and earned a salary. And when people were happy.
Yeah. And there was a lot less stress in the world. Yeah. We all knew what our roles were and there was no confusion and fighting each other trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So the woman's role was generally to look after the household and the family. As a result, she tended not to work in order to cook and clean. Well, that is work, for starters.
Yes.
Taking care of the home is a full-time job.
It is, and it's a lot of work goes into keeping a house.
Over 60 years later, the positions of men and women, as well as parents, have much less definition. And aren't we just worse off for it?
Aren't we just? Yeah. Absolutely.
So what do they do? So you can see in the videos, the tradwife chooses her way of life and believes that a woman's place is in the home. She added that the choice is not pushed upon them and they're not trying to take away from what women fought for.
No.
She's obviously referring there to the suffragettes and stuff, and the other feminists who wanted to get us into the workforce and so we could pay tax.
Yes.
To the man.
Yeah. Isn't that a form of submission?
Yeah. And so this lady also goes on to say, no tradwife TikTokers are saying every woman's place is in their home. They, as individuals, are just choosing to be homemakers.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yep.
You know, they're staying home, they're looking after their home.
But they're not forcing their opinion.
They're not, no.
Notice the difference.
Yes, the feminists are all in their comments saying...
Yeah, they're forcing their opinion.
This is disgusting, aren't you embarrassed? And, you know.
Yeah.
And all of that. Yeah, so...
I think we need to celebrate these women.
We do. Well done,
for taking ownership of what they do.
Yeah.
And being proud and knowing that actually they are giving one hell of a lot to society. Because their children are probably going to grow up a lot more secure. Because they've got mum and dad and they know, dad's out at work.
Yeah.
but mum is here too.
Yeah.
And actually in some of the videos, when they come together as a family, the way they all interact, it's just so beautiful. Rather than children glued to the telly, mum and dad arguing about whose turn it is to do the dishes.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, oh God, don't.
I mean,
Don't.
I've had disagreements with my partner about we've both come in from work. We're both stressed. Neither one of us wants to do the dishes.
No, because we've all had a full day's work.
Yeah, we're all tired.
Yeah.
And the kids want attention as well. And
Yeah.
you just can't do it all
You can't
well.
do it all.
It can't all be done well.
So it's all done to a mediocre.
Yeah. So for people who have like highly paid, stressful jobs, 9 times out of 10, they'll employ somebody to look after the children and be a nanny.
And they'll have a housekeeper and all that.
Yeah.
because- Yeah.
But I think
Most
children
people can't afford that, which is why the reason that both men and women are in the workforce.
Exactly. It's so hard to survive on the one wage, which forces a lot of us, So I think, ideally for me, I'd love to just stay at home, look after the children, run the house and do it well. I don't want to sit on my bum, But that's not what these women are doing. They are working.
Another thing that these women have been accused of is not actually being traditional housewives because they are on social media and they're making money through social media.
Okay.
Which, yes, if you look at the proper traditional housewife, they didn't have that option.
No.
So, but they did used to have things like the Tupperware parties and things like that where they would make money on the side, a little side hustle thing going on. So women have always had the ingenuity
and
to
we've
make
always
a little
been
bit on the
resourceful.
side. But
haven't we?
also, back in those days, it was all just joint money. You didn't have all the separate, because me and my husband, all of our money is separate.
Yeah.
We've never had a joint account and probably never will. Which I think is part
Most
of the
couples
reason.
don't now, I don't think.
It was so hard during those 4 years when I was a stay-at-home mum before my daughter started school.
Yeah.
It was so hard because I literally didn't have any money.
No.
Apart from the child benefit payment I got every month. And it was really hard. And I hated, because I grew up with feminism, I hated asking for money because I saw it as me begging for pocket money almost, when you're a child. And it felt really demeaning to me. But that's the other thing with these setups is it's joint money. She has access to the money.
That's more traditional, isn't it? So that is honouring that tradition.
So she's not it's not financial abuse.
No.
Or anything like that. She's not being kept at home with no access to anything.
No,
because that is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's lovely.
I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I really do.
Back
think
to
it's
tradition.
It is beautiful. Well, we did, look at our podcast, and we've touched on this so many times. And to see it now as a trend on TikTok, I'm just so excited.
Especially when you think of the majority of users on TikTok are very young. So it's nice that they're getting that extra influence because
absolutely,
when we were young,
well, a lot of girls now are being raised to be man haters.
Yeah.
And they would see it as submission,
Yeah.
But
because men are our competition now, because we're supposed to be in the workforce competing against them. And if a man wants you to stay home and have a child, that's him trying to bring you down and domineer and oppress you. So these girls
when that's what our biology drives us to do for most women.
They're not being shown the other side, that actually you can be a stay-at-home mum, you can be a homemaker, and you're supporting your husband who is then providing for you.
But this opens up, I think, in the world now, the fact that it is trending, the respect, because we've been raised to not respect the position of a stay-at-home mum.
Yeah.
It's been diminished.
It has been.
And devalued. So this, I think, does open doors.
And I was in that camp. I looked down on it.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I said in an earlier podcast,
raised.
I said, I'm just a full-time mum.
Yeah.
And
you were told, don't say that.
Yeah. I diminished my own position. Because I'd been raised to believe that women should go out to work and we should never submit to our husbands and, because it was servitude. and it's ludicrous.
Well, that's the other
actually.
thing. The women are being called slaves and all that, and it's like
That's
you're going to be a slave to your
Well,
job
I
or a
tell you,
slave
they-
to your
they-
family.
I'd sooner be a slave to my partner and children than some
Yeah.
person who I'm literally they're giving me an hourly rate, which is not what I'm worth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we put a monetary value on our time, and we go and serve them whilst they're making how much out of our hour.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
how much money are we making for them? Whereas the man brings home a salary and provides for the family, and everybody benefits,
Yeah.
and everybody's happy, and we're all there for each other. That
Yeah.
sounds
That's it.
better,
And
a lot better to me.
And you just keep the house clean, the kids dressed, and
Yeah.
fed,
And
make
maybe
sure
do a bit
there's
of podcasting.
dinner on the table.
Absolutely.
And that's it. And now you do have the option of YouTube
Yeah.
and social media as a means to make a little bit of cash, because that's the only thing that puts me off this kind of concept is the dependency
Yes,
financially.
I do, yeah.
Because
But if
I
it's
still
done
have that bit
traditionally,
of brain.
with the joint, yeah.
If it's done traditionally, then that's a different story. But then you've also got to factor in what if something happens in the future and the man can't work. You know, it terrifies me.
Yeah.
The thought of not having any money terrifies me.
Yeah.
So that's why I work,
Yeah.
really, because I can't.
I mean, I've always worked because it's
I can't
so
be dependent.
it's
I can't.
very difficult because I mean there is one side to this that I think that might be a tiny bit negative, is that it's very difficult for a man to earn enough money in today's society to enable the woman to do
Yeah.
this, and I think that is where the pressure is really,
Yeah.
because women haven't got the luxury to stay at home, you know, and we don't want it to form resentment now from this.
Yeah.
So it is hard. But ultimately, if it can work, then especially with, you know, a little bit of online income like this, if you know, to make it work, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Yes. So here's to many more anti-feminist trends.
Yes, absolutely, and pro-femininity and
Yes.
pro-masculinity.
Yes.
No isms. We don't want the isms.
No, we
you
don't
know?
buy into all that shite.
Let's celebrate women and celebrate men for who we truly are.
Yes, and we've just celebrated Mother's Day here in the UK.
Yes.
And
I had a roast dinner cooked for me.
I was working,
Oh.
but I had some lovely presents and cards when I got home. So
Yes.
you know, it all works out in the end.
Yeah, let's all just
But,
celebrate each other and appreciate
yes.
each other. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a balance to men and women.
there's a yin and a yang, and
It's
you
been
need both.
forgotten in the pursuit of making women equal, but not. Do you know, it's really annoying because
The word equality is thrown around so
Well,
much, and to me, none of it represents a drive for
problem is
equality.
it's equity, isn't it? So it's you don't start off from the same place, so you need a boost up, and it's like, well, no, men and women are equal, but we're not the same.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
2 + 2 is 4. 3 + 1 is also 4.
Yeah.
You don't have to do exactly the same things to be equal.
No.
And I think that's where the message got lost
Absolutely.
with the feminism drive for equity.
Yeah. And we're trying to be smaller men. And it
And
doesn't-
it's just it's taken us away from our roots and our biology and our happiness.
absolutely
What makes us happy,
Yeah.
you know? And obviously it's not for every woman, obviously,
No.
because not every woman wants to be a homemaker and have children and all that.
No.
But for the ones that do, I say fair play
Yeah.
and good luck to you.
And
if-
don't let anybody diminish your place,
yes,
because you are
Yeah.
doing a very valuable job.
especially you.
Because it contributes to future generations, you know, because you're raising children,
Yeah.
you know, to be respectful.
Oh, but you're raising them with those gender roles.
But I'd sooner that than raise them to be a man hater.
Well, exactly.
And if they're the polar opposites, you know,
yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah, it is insane, but it's lovely to see
It
That
is. It's beautiful to see
more
that
and
people
more young
are,
ladies are embracing.
and they all look so happy and
They're so happy and
so well.
and pretty, and
Yeah.
they look after themselves.
And
They're-
traditionally dressed, I noticed
Yes.
as well, which was quite nice.
Yeah.
'Cause they're not all sort of scantily clad and, you know.
Yeah, they're not in trackies and hair slung up and all that. They're taking care of themselves, you know.
Yeah.
They wanting to look good for their man.
Yeah. And themselves as
and
well.
themselves. It
yeah.
does make you feel better when you've
It does.
put a bit of effort in.
Yeah. But I'm sure he comes home a lot happier, and I bet you anything, he is a lot more productive at work.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Well, this is it. I mean, I think it was Matt Walsh was making a video I was watching, and he was talking about, you know, what it takes for a man to be happy.
Yeah.
And it's for the wife to basically be like, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know.
And for him to come home as well and express his appreciation.
Yeah.
You know, she's cooked him a meal and he said thank you and the house looks lovely.
It doesn't take
You know?
much.
It's just a simple exchange of gratitude.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much, but yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're in the situation which most of us are, where both man and woman are working, it's almost like a button heads
Oh,
thing.
absolutely.
Because it's like, you're not doing your fair share of the housework.
But also then you compete. You compete.
Yeah.
I'm tired. No, I'm more tired.
Oh, I hate that.
I know.
I hate
but how
that.
many couples comment if this is you, if you've done this or been there, you know, or no, you need to do the dishes tonight because I did them last night, or no, I had a horrible client today, so I can't do the dishes. I need to put my. Do you know what I mean? And it
Yeah,
just goes
it's
on and
true,
on and
it's
on and
true.
on and on. Or no, I've got a headache. No, but I've got a backache. You know, it just goes on and on, and you know, I think it'd just be so much easier if he can come home
Yeah.
and just be welcomed into a warm home
Yeah.
that's all nice and neat, and he's got a
it.
lovely family that are excited and pleased to see him, rather than, you know, I've been in a situation as well when I've got home first and it's been like, oh no, and I know that my partner's been the same, like on a day off, like wanted to sit down all day and relax, and then literally rushed around an hour before I've got home
Yeah.
to try and tidy up. You know, because we
Yeah.
put ourselves under so much pressure. Are we happy living like that?
Well, I had to rush around and try
I'm
and tidy
stressed.
up my lounge this morning before Michelle came round, because I'd been working all weekend and it's
Well, that's
Monday
it.
morning and I was like, ah!
Well, yeah. I mean, Monday mornings are crazy enough because you've
I
got to like
know.
get the kids organised, get them off to school, and it's just
Yeah. And I'm working tonight.
Oh.
It's all right. It's all money at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but
no,
anyway,
I've dropped evenings now. I've had to.
Yes, and that's,
But anyway.
that's a great thing for you. But thank you very much for joining us.
And let us know in the comments what you think of trad wives.
Are you a trad wife?
Yes,
Do
are
you want a trad wife?
Yeah. Or do you want to be a trad wife?
Anyway, we'll see
We've
you
been
soon.
tea with me. Cheers. Take
Bye.
care.